2020 has been obviously very exciting for everybody. And there's a couple of things I wanted to remind you of. In October 2019, I sent out the first ever in my life command kind of video.
I remember being shocked by that.
It was a bit shocking for everybody. I usually don't tell people what to do. I trust in everybody's high selves to follow it through, but it's really difficult when you have so many distractions to follow through. So I was prompted by Gaia and Human Collective to just tell people what to do. So I did. And the message in October 2020 was 2019 was how light workers unite and go out there, create new structures new for work, create living situations and schooling.
So im Oktober 2019, da war das erste Mal, dass Inelia ganz gegen ihre Gewohnheit wirklich sowas wie ein Machtwort gesprochen hat und gesagt hat, also uns wirklich gesagt hat, was wir zu tun haben oder was wir tun sollen, ein dringender Aufruf. Und das hat sie gemacht, weil das Bewusstsein der Erde und das kollektive Bewusstsein der Menschen sie darum gebeten, dazu gedrängt haben, dass es jetzt an der Zeit ist, dass wir uns vereinen als Lichtarbeiter und dass wir jetzt anfangen, neue Strukturen zu bilden für Arbeit, um zu leben, für Schulen, für alles, dass wir jetzt beginnen, das aufzubauen.
We didn't know at the time why it was so urgent, but it was an urgent call out and command, kind of. This is your marching orders type thing. Like again, I feel very uncomfortable doing those, but it was requested, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And then at the beginning of this year, 2020, it became very clear why. And the whole COVID thing came in. This time, it caught, it latched on to the masses. It's a fear-based pandemic. It is to do with the split, very directly.
Und jetzt zu Beginn der Pandemie, da wurde das auch klar, warum das so dringlich war, dieser Ruf der Erde und des Bewusstseins, dass wir das tun. Und es war halt klar, dass das alles ist, um Angst zu indizieren und aus dem Grunde gestartet ist.
Related to the split. There is no...
Und es hängt auch direkt mit dem Split zusammen, also mit dieser Teilung, dass die beiden kollektiven Bewusstseine der Menschheit in zwei verschiedene Richtungen jetzt gehen.
Dangerous virus, any more dangerous than anything that we have on the planet before. The masks are about compliance and about separation and division and isolation.
Ja, der Virus ist nicht gefährlicher als alle anderen Krankheiten und die Masken, da geht es nur darum, um Gehorsam, als Gehorsamsübung, um uns zu isolieren voneinander und zu trennen.
That you can't hug or touch people anymore. That's also isolation, separation, the illusion of separation.
Auch, dass wir uns nicht mehr umarmen können.
Now, there are millions of people out there, if not billions of people out there, who are not compliant.
Und es sind wirklich inzwischen Millionen, wenn nicht sogar eine Milliarde oder mehrere Milliarden, die nicht diesen Gehorsam geben wollen.
Not following that storyline. And those are the individuals who I am addressing.
Ja, und das sind genau die, an die ich mich hier wende.
Yes, people get sick, people die, and there are ways to exploit that. Even today, we were talking about how the majority of deaths on the planet are actually related to alcohol when it comes to all types of things like ill health, drunk drivers, people who are killed because they're walking drunk on the street, murder.
Ja, also es sterben halt, es spricht niemand von den ganzen anderen Menschen, die sterben wegen Alkohol oder Mord oder was auch immer.
And liver issues, brain issues, all sorts of things are alcohol related, yet we don't have any type of panic attack on the planet around alcohol. So it's a division, it's a separation. The guidance that came through from last year and this year was very clear. If you can step out away from cities, it's going to be harder in cities. It's better to be in neighborhoods that are small.
Ja, also die Ansage war ganz klar für dieses Jahr, für dieses jetzt, also für das 2020, dass es, seht zu, dass ihr aus den Städten rauskommt und da, weil es in den Städten unangenehmer wird.
Smaller or small villages or in the country. The 5G is highly connected to the whole thing. And I mentioned even at the beginning of the year, it's got something to do with nanobots or nanoparticles and all these type of things. It's a long-term plan. It's not all of a sudden. They're just.
Ja, also es ist jetzt auch nichts, was ganz plötzlich kam. Es ist ein Plan, der von langer Hand vorbereitet wurde. Und auch das ganze 5G und diese ganzen Nanobots und Nanopartikel hängt alles miteinander zusammen, gehört alles zum gleichen Plan.
There's a lot of agendas happening. It's very important, very, very important not to fall into the victim-aggressor cycle.
Und es ist umso mehr jetzt wichtig, da alles das auf uns einstützt, dass wir auf gar keinen Fall in diesen Opfer-Täter-Kreislauf geraten, dass wir uns da raushalten.
Very important. It's so easy to do that. We have to remember this is a collaboration, it's a co-creation, and this is a collaboration, it's a co-creation, and we're part of that. Okay. And how are you living right now, and how comfortable it feels to be around other people, how comfortable it feels to be at home, that's all related to the split. So
ja, und es ist halt eine Kooperation und wenn wir uns, je nachdem, ob wir uns wohlfühlen mit anderen Menschen zusammen oder auch wohlfühlen alleine zu Hause, dann spiegelt es immer wieder, an welcher Stelle, also auf welcher Seite von dem Split wir gerade sind. So verstehe ich das.
The year has been different. Some of the items that were planned for the human collective didn't gel. It didn't happen. Like in August, I think it was, they had planned for a food crisis.
Yeah.
It was very clear. They announced it.
It probably happened in places.
I don't know. I mean, the rest here got mountains of food to cater for the,
Literally a mountain of food.
It was literally a mountain of boxes filled with food week after.
Also die haben auch für eine Nahrungsmittelkrise geplant und das scheint irgendwie nicht geklappt zu haben bisher. Bisher, kann ja noch.
The week in a field until the council, I think, told them to stop.
We have enough.
Just go away. Leave us alone. No, they didn't say that.
No.
But they have to cut down on the amount because it was just ridiculous, and it was creating a level of codependency that was unprecedented. But it didn't quite gel, right? Now we have the vaccine going out, and we have that very clearly distinguishes between the individuals who are subscribing to and becoming compliant, and those who are based from fear, and those who are saying, no way, Jose, this is not happening, I'm not getting a vaccination, this is crazy talk. I mean, what are you talking about?
Ja, und das mit der Impfung ist halt auch ganz klar, also das zeigt wieder diesen Split teilt die Menschen in die da hörig sind und aus Überzeugung oder aus Angst einfach sich impfen lassen, und die sagen, auf gar keinen Fall, no way, und nicht mit mir, egal was das für Folgen hat.
So the divisions are becoming very, very clear. It's not a secret that this vaccine is going to have horrendous side effects. It's going to separate the human collective at a very clear physical level.
Also diese Impfung ist auch nicht nur ein Zeichen für diesen Split und die zwei verschiedenen Seiten von der Meinung her, sondern es wird auch mit der Impfung auf einer physischen Ebene nochmal ein großer Unterschied erfolgen dadurch. Also.
And what's going to happen, one of the side effects of this vaccine is that it separates and alienates the singular, the person, from the human collective energy. And
Also das wird auch tatsächlich eine physische Wirkung haben, wenn man sich die geben lässt. Also es hat auch Einfluss auf die Emotionen und es wird die Menschen, die sich das geben lassen, emotional abtrennen vom menschlichen Kollektiv, also vereinzeln.
And connection, it's like it separates them. So those of us who are not having those type of things put into our bodies will be feeling the release of all that fear and negativity going away.
Also das hat für die auf der anderen Seite sind, also so wie wir jetzt, den positiven Effekt wird es haben, dass da die vom menschlichen Kollektiv abgetrennt werden, wird es eine Erleichterung sein, weil diese ganze Angst und Negativität, die wir jetzt alle spüren, weil wir ja alle eins sind und zum Kollektiv dazugehören, die werden wir dann nicht mehr spüren, weil die dann nicht mehr dazugehören.
Very soon. It started to happen already.
Und es passiert auch jetzt gerade schon.
The fear aspect of it and the human body panics on it are tremendous. So people are feeling it, the energies very strongly. And it's both ways. If you're diligent about embodying the high frequency human collectives co-creation, it's really high frequency. You feel extremely connected. And those individuals who are falling even a tiny bit, and I'm talking about myself, Larry, ours, if we indulge even a tiny little bit on that tiny little bit of negativity, it just pushes in and explodes, right? And it just takes over.
Also gerade jetzt ist es, also wenn wir ja auch verbunden sind und uns entschieden haben, wir sind Teil des menschlichen Kollektivs und wollen damit verbunden sein, spüren wir das noch viel mehr und vor allem, wenn wir grundsätzlich positiv sind und in einer hohen Energie, werden wir aber momentan umso mehr, wenn wir auch nur einmal da rausfallen und in der Angst fallen oder irgendwie irgendwas genießen, in irgendwas uns reingehen, was nicht gut für uns ist, werden wir es halt noch umso stärker spüren. Also es wird umso stärkere Auswirkungen haben.
For an hour, 2 hours a day, it's really intense, very intense. So my advice would be, do not indulge. As soon as you start getting negative thoughts, fears, or your ego starts taking over, just, don't go there. Just say, I'm not doing that.
Also dass wir da gar nicht erst drauf einsteigen und da reingehen in diese negativen Gefühle. Und wenn unser Ego durchkommt und sagt, ja, aber what's about me? Also was ist mit mir? Dann, dass wir da einfach sagen, nein, ich mache nicht mit.
And today on we're doing a workshop in January, instant manifestation workshop with individuals from Work With Me Now. And one of them said something that was very good. It's a really great tool. He said, I gave my ego a name. And he said, when my ego turns up, just say, hey, he gave him a name and says, hey, such and such. You shouldn't be here. What are you doing?
You gotta share the name. The name's quite funny.
Share the name.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have permission to share it. So.
That's random. It's a standard name. It's not a peculiar name. Or
it's not a special name.
It's the same as a name of ego. Same number of letters even. So.
Yeah. So that's a really good tool, right?
Name your ego.
Also wir können auch, ein gutes Tool ist, dass wir einfach unserem Ego einen Namen geben und sagen, hey, Clara, was machst du hier? Du hast hier nichts zu suchen.
Name your ego, what my ego is named. What can I name my ego? Nina. Whatever,
It's like, Nina, calm down.
What are you doing here, Nina?
Nina.
That's enough
Slow
already.
down now.
Slow down. Settle down. All right. Put Nina in the naughty corner. Don't sit there. So, yeah, it's things that you can find, tools that you can find, the fear processing exercise, and be aware that the data that's coming in is going to be overwhelming. Be aware that the types of information is all being told. I mean, we know what's out there. It's not like we it's all our choice what we're going to listen to.
Ja, und also es gibt viele Werkzeuge, die Fear Processing Exercise und vieles. Wir müssen die jetzt wirklich nutzen, dass wir da nicht reingehen, weil wir das sonst so, weil sich das sonst so steigert. Und es gibt so viel verwirrende Informationen da draußen und auch schockierende und wir müssen wirklich aufpassen, was wir uns da reinziehen.
And that's why I wanted to remind everybody that I do have a class for you to be able to test your data and truth it. It's to call the truthing class.
Genau, dann
And
gibt es ja auch den
Ilya
Kurs
is going to
mit Truth and
post, I
Lies, den
think,
können wir da
the
gut
link for
benutzen,
that class. Yeah, good. He's posted it.
damit wir
And
immer wissen, ob
we
Lüge
have a
erzählt wird.
coupon for that class. I don't know if that's posted, but we're going to talk about it later on. So keep listening. So we have a coupon for you to store. So what is it? Let's say use it on that class if you haven't. In 2011, the human collective decided to have a split. Before that, and everybody can feel and truth this, or the entire human collective, the entire planet, all of the collectives on the planet had decided to expand their awareness and raise their frequency to a higher level experience.
Ja, 2011 gab es ja diesen Split im menschlichen kollektiven Bewusstsein und es wurde entschieden, in dieses High-Frequency-Paradigm zu gehen. Das kennt ihr ja schon alles.
But in 2011, certain groups in the human collective, including a lot of light workers who hadn't done their bodhisattva journey, decided that they wanted to carry on a light dark paradigm to finish their cycles. So
Und dann hat ja ein Teil des menschlichen Kollektivs entschieden, dass sie doch noch nicht fertig sind mit diesem Hell-Dunkel, vor allem auch viele Lichtarbeiter, die diese Bodhisattva-Aufgabe noch nicht erlebt haben und die machen wollten, also andere zu retten, selber nicht in diesen nicht mehr inkarnieren müssen Modus gehen, sondern freiwillig weiter hier sein, um anderen zu helfen, da auch hinzukommen.
The vote was taken and it was decided that it was going to be a split.
Und da wurde ja entschieden 2011, dass das menschliche Bewusstsein, das Kollektive, dass es zwei werden. Und das ist der Split.
I didn't agree with the split, but I'm just one voice, right? Many voices decided on the split, on a yes for the split.
Ja, also Inelia war nicht dafür, aber sie hat ja nur eine Stimme und viele waren dafür.
So when that decision was taken, we had a period of time to make that decision on what we're going to step into the light paradigm, expanded awareness, embodiment of sovereignty, or we're going to go straight back or stay in codependency, blaming others, non-sovereignty, enslavement, and all that type of things. The fear-based paradigm.
Also da 2011, als diese Entscheidung getroffen wurde, musste sich jeder, so verstehe ich das, entscheiden, auf welcher Linie man weitergeht. Ja? Wollen wir weiter angstbasiert, Co-Abhängigkeiten und sowas alles und Täter-Opfer Paradigma und so, oder wollen wir souveräne, freie Wesen sein, die dieses High-Frequency-Paradigm voll umarmen und leben?
And everybody took a choice. Everybody decided which one they were going to go on to. And now
also
it's
jeder
that
hat
time
entschieden.
when that split and that decision by the human collective is becoming solid. It's becoming part of our daily living.
Und jetzt, 10 Jahre später, wird halt diese Entscheidung sichtbar. Also diese ganze Entscheidung, die wir da getroffen haben, die werden jetzt erst richtig sichtbar, so ganz deutlich.
And the split is not happening out there. You can't say to me, hey, what's happening with the split? Where are we? Because it's you. How is your split happening? How much negative BS are you indulging in today?
Ja, und obwohl wir die Entscheidung ja schon getroffen haben, ist ja die Umsetzung nicht sofort, ne? Manchmal trifft man ja auch eine Entscheidung und tut dann trotzdem nicht die richtigen Schritte, die man tun muss, die Entscheidung widerspiegeln. Also das ist jetzt genau, wo wir gefragt sind, wo sie sagt, gehen wir immer noch in negative Geschichten, Emotionen rein, Täter, Opfer, obwohl wir diese Entscheidung getroffen haben.
And it's on a day-to-day basis.
Das müssen wir jeden Tag neu
How much are you
angucken.
embodying your high frequency, right? So, and
Wie
it's not
weit
about
verkörpern wir das?
ignoring the negative stuff. It's about really dropping it. You drop
Ja, also es geht nicht darum, das zu ignorieren, sondern einfach das nicht mehr an sich ranzulassen, einfach fallen lassen, loslassen.
your low frequency items. Okay, just drop it. And then you embody also the high frequency stuff and you do your good works.
Genau, und mit dem nicht mehr in das Negative einsteigen, verkörpern wir ja und also umarmen wir die High-Frequency-Geschichte.
So that's that moment in time right now.
Right, and it gets confusing. Some people think dropping your low frequency stuff means you don't help anyone. And there's between supporting people in their high frequency and running around saving people from certain doom, right?
From themselves.
When that's what they want.
Right.
You gotta let them have the experience they want.
Yes.
That's their free will choice.
Yeah, that's their, and it's also yours.
And yours too.
Yeah, so if people invite you to low frequency things, you say no thank you. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to indulge in that.
Ja, also selbst wenn wir sagen, ja, aber dann kann ich ja auch niemandem mehr helfen, da müssen wir halt auch aufpassen, weil das ist ja auch deren freie Wahl. Wenn jemand sagt, ja, finde ich toll, ich lasse mich da impfen, dann müssen wir den da nicht von abbringen und retten.
One example could be somebody telling you, you're not a realistic person, you're mad or crazy. You go, okay, I understand that you feel that way. Boom, that's it. No defense.
Genau, und also, dass wir da nicht mehr reingehen, heißt auch, dass wir nicht mehr darauf eingehen, auf Provokationen. Ne? Wenn uns da jemand, der uns nicht versteht, das an den Kopf wirft, dass wir unrealistisch sind, okay.
Once you start defending yourself, that's the ego, that's Nina.
Genau, sobald wir uns rechtfertigen, das ist das Ego.
Right? Taking over.
Und das übernimmt dann.
Nina and Nino.
Nino.
So, 2020, it has been very interesting. One of the main things that we felt was, or I felt personally was, it was very difficult for me to see any negatives around the COVID thing. It's like, you know, even the masking thing, you know, for me personally, I'm a germaphobe and it's not something I want to release particularly. It's very nice to be a germaphobe. I could process it away, but I don't want to. And I seeing everybody wearing masks and gloves for me was like heaven, you know. It's like great, no buggers on the items that I'm gonna shop and or the handrails and stairs. And I mean, all germaphobes here present are going, yeah, I know how you feel, you know, going up and down. You never think about
salt and pepper every time.
Every time, salt, pepper. Before that,
a day.
Whenever we used to go to a restaurant, he had to put the salt and pepper onto my stuff.
Ja, da geht es also darum, dass man das negativ sehen kann, aber auch positiv. Also für Inelia war es halt echt positiv, weil sie irgendwie nicht gerne Sachen anfasst, die andere Menschen angefasst haben. Und deswegen war das für sie toll, dass sie alle Handschuhe und Masken tragen. Ja.
Because I'm like, oh, I'm not. It was about the muck that people live in. It was just about their ooziness, you know. Walking into a store and people running out and say you will have to wear a mask and go, ooh, this is not a store I want because it's all full of fear. All their products are covered in fear. See, thank you for letting me know.
Ja, genau. Und wir können es auch so sehen, wenn wir irgendwo reingehen und jemand sagt uns im Laden, hier, ich muss aber eine Maske aufsetzen, dann geht man halt einfach wieder raus und sagt, okay, hier will ich eh nicht sein, weil das so eine Energie von Angst ist sowieso.
I'll walk away, you know. And it's like I think even when walking into a store like a supermarket and I can't wear masks, and I say unfortunately because I used to love masks. Like I don't have to breathe other people's breath, you know. And I can't because my lungs are not strong enough to be able to get the oxygen and then the stuff that you breathe back into my lungs. I wore one once and it took me 3 days to clear my lungs and I thought, oh my gosh, that's quite serious, you know. So I feel like as I walk through and I smile and everybody smiles at me, everybody's happy whether they have a mask or don't have a mask, nobody really cares. Very occasionally I'll feel a pinch of invitation to engage with a righteous person but that has happened to me my entire life, so it's nothing new. And I just ignore it. It's like, no, I'm not gonna go there today. I'm not gonna do that today. It's fine. Thank you very much.
Ja, also auch sie sagt, sie würde sogar gerne eine Maske tragen, weil ihr das angenehm ist, nicht den Atem der anderen zu atmen, aber sie kann es nicht, weil sie Asthma hat und das ganz unangenehm ist. Und sie sagt auch, wenn sie so rechthaberischen Leuten begegnet, wozu sie neigt, sie ignoriert es einfach, wenn die sie irgendwie reinziehen wollen. Man muss einfach nicht reingehen.
So there's always going to be invitations, and we have to identify, and we know what our Achilles heels are. I know that my physical body is my Achilles heel. So whenever I start getting sick, or wherever my physical body gets tense or upset about something, I know, oh, that's a red flag. There's something around, an invitation to lower my frequency, and I'll be very diligent about that.
Ja, also es gibt immer Einladungen. Ne? Also wir kriegen von überall energetisch die Einladung, wieder runterzugehen mit der Schwingung. Und jeder hat da seine Schwachpunkte, seine Achillessehne sozusagen. Und die sollte man gut kennen, damit man einfach ganz bewusst entscheiden kann, nö, mache ich nicht. Ja? Bei Inelia ist das ihr Körper, wenn sie irgendwo merkt, der Körper ist irgendwie traurig, dann merkt sie, das ist irgendwo hier eine Einladung, sich auf irgendwas Negatives einzulassen. Und dann entscheidet man ganz bewusst einfach, nein, danke.
Right. So if you're allergic to milk, don't drink any milk products, don't have ice cream and stuff like that. I'm not talking about me here. It's like, I'm not like lactose intolerance, I'm actually allergic to cow milk. But up to this point, and then we're going to start looking at 2021, up to this point, until very recently, I was able to indulge in drinking milk products.
Just pay the price, whatever
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Drinking milk, having ice cream, stuff that is not organic, right? I can eat certain butter, the Kerrygold butter I can eat, and the way they make it apparently doesn't create a chemical that I'm allergic to, because they're grass fed. I don't know, but anyways, but I can only have so much, and then I get sick. And like ice creams, they don't care what kind of milk they use. So yeah, every time I have a little bit of ice cream, I'll get sick afterwards. But I used to be that I could eat a little bowl of ice cream once every 3 days or so, and I would feel a little bit unsettled, but it's okay. If I did it early enough in the day, I was able to have a good night's sleep. But now, the other day, there's this delicious ice cream, and I had a couple of spoonfuls, and my body instantly got sick. Like, it was instant, and I thought, whoa, all right, I can't indulge in this anymore. And it's like, dang it. But
Also
it
es
doesn't
geht
really
alles
matter.
immer schneller, die
There's
Wirkung
a
kommt
lot
immer
of
schneller.
other
Ne?
foods
Also
and
Sachen, wo sie früher, was ich, Eis oder Milch, was sie nicht verträgt, gegessen hat, dann ging das so halbwegs, ging das schnell vorbei. Und jetzt ist es sofort, instantly, also unmittelbar, dass es sich zeigt und sie richtig krank wird davon. Also das ist jetzt einfach die Zeit, wir haben diese Entscheidung getroffen und wir dürfen sowas nicht mehr machen. So eine Dinge, die gegen diese Entscheidung gehen sozusagen.
things that I love doesn't really matter, actually. You have a negative thought going through your mind. It's like, that's interesting. Rather than, oh yeah, I am gonna die if I get whatever, or that person really, you don't have to, you can just release
also einfach nicht mehr reingehen.
And just incidentally, because she's sensitive to ice cream doesn't mean everyone is.
Right.
That's not everyone's little Achilles heel.
No, most people are not.
Many aren't, or some are, but the point was to pay attention to yours.
Exactly,
and
to your
not indulge
personal.
in them.
Mm-hmm. Another one of mine is broccoli, I love broccoli, and I'm allergic to broccoli, and it's like, dang it. And I kind of felt that I was, but I always ignored it. It's like, I can't be, nobody's
Who's
allergic to
broccoli?
Nobody's allergic to
Or
broccoli,
Give me a break. That's
Give me
what
a break.
kids say,
Yeah,
so they don't have to eat it.
exactly. And so, yeah, it's not about everybody's allergic to broccoli or milk. You just find, and it could be something else, like tension, it's like your body might be prone to get tense or be afraid of things, and be aware of your body and take care of your body. And I released the exercise last week in the newsletter. We did release it, right, Ilia? The exercise to reconnect is on our podcast as well. So You reconnect with your physical body. This is really, really important right now for you to reconnect with your physical body. So
Also es ist jetzt einfach gerade ganz, ganz wichtig, dass wir uns wieder zurückverbinden mit unserem Körper, ja, mit dem physischen Körper. Und da gibt es auch eine Übung dafür. Reconnect with your physical body. Und das ist ganz, ganz wichtig jetzt, dass wir einfach bewusst sind über diese Dinge und die nicht mehr einfach übergehen.
So, an Ascension 101 also has 2 units dedicated to the physical body, and a 3rd unit that integrates all of the bodies is also there. So, really, really, I mean, it's not like the tools are not out there. Do it.
Also es sind alle
If you
Werkzeuge
have
da
other
dafür.
practices where you
Bei Ascension 101 ist es auch so eine, wo man alle Körperebenen reintegrieren kann.
reconnect with your physical body, do those. I know there's a yoga where you have to feel into different parts of your body.
Yoga Nidra, is that the Yoga Nidra one?
Yoga Nidra, I think it's called. I'm
Okay.
sure some yoga person will let us know. Whatever it is, just start reconnecting with your physical body. Now, looking forward into 2021, the interesting part. I'm happy to say, and I'm sorry to say, it's going to be the same, except
Bigger? To 12?
yes,
Ja, also es geht für 2021, die Vorausschau, es geht so weiter wie bisher, aber sie drehen nochmal weiter auf.
Not even 11?
Not even 11, man. It's
12?
going to turn up. So you might be going, or you might be going, yay!
Yeah, remember what your son said?
Yes.
Everything COVID has been a positive.
Yeah,
for him.
it's been a total positive. He said, Mom, to tell you the truth, there's nothing negative that has happened to in my life as a direct result of COVID. Nothing.
It's all
positive.
He's in heaven.
All positive.
Ja, also jeder erlebt es ganz anders. Ne? Manche werden vielleicht sagen, oh nein, jetzt geht es noch mehr weiter und noch schlimmer. Und andere sagen, ja, super. Also ihr Sohn hat gesagt, für ihn war nichts Negatives dabei bei der ganzen Geschichte. Also sein ganzes Leben hat sich nur positiv verbessert dadurch.
No negatives. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel the same, you know.
It's a bit awkward.
It's a little bit awkward,
true.
but it's true. Yes. And it's like, am I making fun? Yeah, I kind of am. Because if you're indulging in low frequency stuff and you're allowing yourself to be a victim, if you're allowing yourself to blame society and triggered for your woes, just drop it, okay?
Ja, also nochmal, wir dürfen echt nicht da reingehen, dass wir die Außenwelt dafür beschuldigen, dass sie sagen, oh, die sind ja schlimm und die sind ja schlimm und ist das alles schrecklich. Jegliche negativen Gefühle einfach nicht mehr reingehen, einfach fallen lassen.
It's not like you haven't been warned. It's not like you haven't been told. It's not like the Hopis didn't say like how many years ago this time is coming and you have to get out of the cities and you have to not hold on to the edge of the river because the river is going to take you away. Just enjoy the ride, man. You know?
True.
It's not like I'm the first person to tell you this.
Ja, es ist ja auch nicht so, dass die Information darüber nicht draußen gewesen wäre und sie ist ja auch nicht die Erste, die uns das sagt und ja, also wir wussten, was uns erwartet und konnten uns vorbereiten.
If you're getting righteous and triggered and you think I'm attacking you, get off the call, because I don't want you in my field, okay?
Ja.
This
Also,
is
falls
it.
du dich jetzt
This
dadurch
is
getriggert
what the
fühlst,
split
dann
is
einfach
about.
abschalten, dann
And if
möchte
you're
ich
going,
dich nicht in meinem Feld haben.
okay, yeah, I was doing that, but you know, I want to do better, but I don't know how. Just go to ineliabenz.com. I have released so much information. There's hundreds of articles there that you can use to improve your life.
Ja, es gibt genug
There's the
Werkzeuge
fear
da,
precision
um das zu
exercise
machen.
that's there for free. There's the firewalls exercise. There's the 5-minute relaxation exercise. There's a 5-minute meditation. It's like if you any excuse that you have, you can go there and find the solution for.
Ja,
Right?
also für jede Ausrede,
So
die
do
wir
it.
dazu
I
hätten,
don't want to hear any more excuses from anyone. And I
Können
don't
wir-
want to hear any blames from anybody here.
ja, also ich möchte nichts mehr hören, sagt sie. Einfach nutzt die Werkzeuge oder geht raus.
And if you're doing good and if you're working on yourself and you're stepping up and you're being what you came here to do, which is to embody the new paradigm on the planet for all of us, if you are doing that, you're doing it every day, I don't care if you fall down because you're picking yourself up, right? It might take you an hour, it might take you a day, it might take you a week, but you're picking yourself up again.
Ja. Und das ist, wozu wir hierher gekommen sind, das High Frequency Paradigm mit in die neue Welt hier reinzubringen. Und dafür sind wir hier. Und wenn wir irgendwie, wir können uns da immer selber wieder rausholen. Ja? Es kann ja mal sein, dass man mal schlecht drauf ist, aber dann holen wir uns selber wieder raus. Es gibt genug Werkzeuge. Und wenn wir einen Tag brauchen oder eine Woche, egal, aber wir holen uns da selber wieder raus.
And that's what's important.
Und das ist
Okay.
wichtig.
And that's what's like, yes, you know, that's what you came here to do. And it's like, good on you. It's great. It's perfect. This is what you're doing. This is what you came here to be.
Und wir sind ja dafür hier.
Yeah. 2020, baby. It's gonna be either a brilliant year for you, or it's gonna be tough.
2021, you mean?
Sorry, 2021. Yes.
Mm.
The guidance is
Best year
clear.
ever.
Yes, the guidance is clear.
Also es kann ein furchtbares Jahr werden oder ein wunderbares Jahr. Es liegt an uns und wir sind geführt.
Stop being a lone wolf. Connect with the high frequency people in your neighborhoods, in your cities, in your countrysides. You know, the systems that the other side are using, like Facebook, Twitter, and all those, we can still use those to reconnect with people or connect with people who are high frequency.
Ja, wir können das auch, die ganzen Social Media nutzen, um uns zu verbinden. Und das ist jetzt auch die Aufgabe, nichts mehr einsamer Wolf, sondern verbinden mit gleich schwingenden Menschen.
Go ahead and do it. Don't indulge in the low frequency stuff that's in there, though, because it's like a dangerous playground, right, for you and your energy fields.
Ja, aber geht da nicht
So,
in die negativen Nachrichten rein.
Reconnect, step out of the lone wolf. It's not the time for that anymore. And start co-creating and helping out and being part of that new structures. Okay, so you can't get on an airplane anymore. Take flying lessons. Go learn how to be a helicopter pilot.
Ja, also wir nehmen es, wie es kommt. Ne? Wenn man nicht mehr fliegen kann, wenn man irgendwie so eine Impfung braucht oder es gerade verboten ist, dann müssen wir halt Flugstunden nehmen und selber ein Flugzeug oder einen Helikopter fliegen. Und wir müssen jetzt wirklich rausgehen und co-kreieren mit anderen zusammen, das alles tun.
Right? Then you can supply high frequency travel for those individuals who can't get onto airplanes.
Yeah, and I remember you've said when you actually embody the place and space and location that you are, you become more powerful too.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you appreciate that the lone wolf process got you here, but that's not the process that takes you next.
Exactly.
The next step
Uh-huh.
is connecting. And the
Exactly.
connection is not with everybody. The
Not just-
connection is
no.
with your high frequency tribe.
Yes. Your
Tribes.
high
Und sich verbinden heißt auch nicht jetzt einfach mit jedem x-beliebigen, sondern wirklich ganz gezielt mit hochfrequenten, hochschwingenden Menschen, mit unserem Tribe. Ja.
frequency tribes. That's
Right.
really important.
Können auch
The
mehrere sein.
connections with low frequency tribes and low frequency people, keep it high frequency. It doesn't mean that you're never going to talk to your father again for the rest of your life, right? It doesn't mean that. It means that whenever you talk to your father, it's going to be in a high frequency way. And when he starts spiraling down into victim aggressor or Trump or whomever, Biden, I don't know who it is right now.
Somebody.
Whomever it is right now, you say, okay, so, I've got to go now. See ya.
Jeez.
Ja, und das heißt ja auch nicht, dass wir nie wieder mit niedrig schwingenden Menschen sprechen dürfen, auch wenn unsere Familie vielleicht welche dabei sind, aber dass wir, wenn wir das tun, immer in unserer hohen Frequenz bleiben und uns dann nicht runterziehen lassen. Und wenn die das weiterhin versuchen, dann beendet man das Gespräch und sagt, okay, dann bis zum nächsten Mal, tschüss.
Yeah.
I'm late. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was great talking to you.
Yeah. Or you can say, hey, Dad, I'm not into politics, so I'm going to log out now. Right?
Or whatever.
Or whatever. You'll figure it out. You know your dad, right? Or mom, or cousin, or best friend, or people at work,
So I think the point I was getting at with the you can't fly, maybe it's fine, you can't fly. Stay where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's
like,
where you should be,
yeah.
and that's where you are. If you're where you should be, then
Exactly.
just be
Just
there.
be there.
Actually be there.
be there 100%.
Don't be I wish I was there.
Mhm.
Be I am here.
Ja. Und wenn wir irgendwo stuck sind, irgendwo sind, wo wir gar nicht sein wollen und nicht wegkommen, dann ist es jetzt halt so, dann umarmen wir halt das, wo wir da sind und sind dort wirklich mit vollem, hochschwingenden Bewusstsein.
one of the exercises that we did a long time ago on Walk With Me Now, because I sent weekly exercises for people's empowerment. And one of them was every now and then during the day, you set up a random alarm. And when the alarm goes off, you go, where am I right now? Where am I right now? And when am I right now? Okay. When am I right now? Where am I right now? And yeah, that's one of the exercises, right?
I was a lot of places, not where, not where here.
Yeah, so 2021.
Also es gibt auch so eine Übung, da kannst du dir den Wecker einfach stellen, ab und zu, das ist ja, weiß ich, alle 20 Minuten oder alle Stunde oder was irgendwie. Und immer wenn der klingelt, denke okay, wo war ich gerade? Wie schwinge ich gerade?
It's going to be the rollout of the vaccine. We're not going to have much, like, it's going to be like a pause. It's going to be a little bit easier until around March. And then it's really up to us what are we co-creating moment to moment. So
Also bis März ist es noch ein bisschen einfacher. Also ich weiß nicht, ob sie jetzt von der ganzen Welt spricht oder nur von Amerika, aber und dann kommt es wirklich darauf an, was wir jetzt hier Moment to Moment co-kreieren.
I can give you a timeline for the low frequency people, what is going to happen with them, and I can give you a timeline for the high frequency people, you, and where are we going to be, right? You and me, us.
Also ich kann euch 2 Voraussagen sozusagen geben. Einmal für die Zeitlinie, wo die Low-Frequency-Leute sind, was da passiert dann und was für die High-Frequency-Leute, also uns, passiert.
Right? And the low frequency rollout, and again, it's a co-creation. It's a co-creation. It's several things are being placed or put in place for this empowerment and complete indulgence in low frequency for those individuals who chose that. Why are they spending so much effort, money, trillions and trillions of dollars to implement the low frequency stuff? Because it's the unnatural state of the human collective and Gaia.
Also für die Low-Frequency Teil wird es so aussehen, dass es immer mehr angezogen wird, immer mehr in die Angst geht und es ist schon erstaunlich, weil die müssen ja Millionen ausgeben, Milliarden, um das irgendwie zu erzeugen, ne? Diese ganzen Sachen, die Masken und alles, und das ist deswegen so aufwendig, weil das ja gegen unsere Natur ist, die niedere Frequenz. Das ist ja nicht natürlicherweise so, das erzeugen die ja künstlich.
So for people to be able to stay low frequency, to stay disconnected, to stay disempowered, they need a lot of effort.
A lot of help.
A lot of help. So yeah, last year, I think 2 years ago in summer, I talked about nanobots and nanoparticles in Coca-Cola products and Pepsi-Cola products and other sodas that are in McDonald's and other fast foods places. And this month, they released information about some fluorescent nanoparticles in soda products.
Who even does a science study like that?
I know.
Ja, über diese Nanopartikel habe ich ja auch schon gesprochen in so Fastfood-Zeug, McDonald's und so, und jetzt gab es sogar einen Artikel darüber.
But they did.
They have to release it. They have to release the information. It just happened that I knew it a year or 2 years ago. I listened, but I was trying to fool myself into thinking it's because, I'm very indulgent in like nasty stuff that is not actually drink or food, it's just fillers. I was trying to fool myself into thinking, well, the soda cans should be okay.
Yeah, just
every time I touch on a guy, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
So I cut.
Und ich habe es versucht, mir selber halt einzureden, weil ich Lust drauf hatte, so ein Softdrink, das dachte, na gut, der kann ja nicht so schlimm sein, aber immer wenn ich ihn in der Hand hatte, habe ich gemerkt, es ist doch schlimm.
Down, like tremendously cut down on sodas. And the fillers, we know about GMOs, they hurt your body. It's all very, very directed at the physical body. The chemtrails, the 5G, now the vaccine.
Ja, und es sind halt all diese Sachen sind, um uns niedrig schwingend zu halten. Und wenn man halt drüber weiß, dann kann man es ja einfach nicht tun, manche Sachen.
Which is a DNA altering vaccine. It's also got the sodas with the nanoparticles that go straight into your brain. It goes through the, what's that?
Blood-brain barrier.
The blood-brain barrier. It goes right through. No
Ja, also die Sachen, die da in den Softdrinks sind, die gehen direkt durch die Blut-Hirn-Schranke. Also das sind ja Sachen, die können wir einfach sein lassen, wenn man es weiß.
filters. And
So it makes you a good
the
antenna.
fear, yeah, make it, yeah, exactly. And one of the things that the antenna part, the very refined white sugar is the same. So one of the things that I would notice, for example, which was a very telling thing, and it didn't matter whether it was a soda from a fast food joint or a can or a bottle. I would just drink half a glass and I would get very angry. Right?
Okay, once in a while.
Once in a while.
No.
I knew that if I drank a glass of Coca-Cola, I'm going to get like the milk and the broccoli, you know, so get sick. Just look at me wrong. And I'm 100% sure that many people here is like, they know this. They know that GMO is not good for you. They know that sodas have been really bad for you. So it's not like we don't know these things. We know them. And moving forward, all these individuals that get vaccinated, I think some of their plans got a little bit wonky because they were supposed to vaccinate everybody on the planet on the same day, and it's now kind of, you know.
Also die Pläne sind anscheinend so ein bisschen durcheinander geraten, denn die hatten wohl vor, alle Menschen gleichzeitig wirklich tatsächlich durchzuimpfen auf der ganzen Erde, aber das ist ja ein bisschen chaotisch jetzt eher.
Yeah, it's a bit not.
It's a little bit not quite happening the way they were thinking.
They were going to have 100 million doses, but they only had 10 million or something.
Yeah.
They didn't quite make them fast.
The ones that are like going there, running and getting on first online, those are the people who should get the vaccine. There's a higher self-choice.
Ja, also die Menschen, die da wirklich hinrennen und sagen, ja, hier, ich will die Impfung, die haben das auch so gewählt. Das ist die freie Wahl, wahrscheinlich sogar von dem Hörern selbst unbewusst.
Our physical bodies will feel really bad about this, and you have to understand that we are part of this co-creation, and there are other larger reasons of why this is happening. Okay,
ja, es gibt
this
einfach
bigger, large.
Ja, es gibt einfach höhere Gründe, nicht als nur für jeden Einzelnen.
Reasons of why we are agreeing for billions of our physical bodies and our souls to enter and be a 100% solid part of the dark paradigm.
Ja, das hat seinen Grund, wenn Tausende, Millionen von Menschen entscheiden, hier zu inkarnieren und Teil dieses dunklen Paradigmas zu sein.
And there are reasons why so many of us, every single person on this call today, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, every single person has chosen the high frequency paradigm. And I don't.
Und es ist auch ganz klar, dass jeder, der jetzt bei diesem Call dabei ist und das hier hört, sich entschieden hat für das High Frequency Paradigm. Ganz klar.
I don't care if you're having doubts. Those doubts are just Nina and Nino hanging on to you and beating you up over the head. Because if you're here, you already made your choice. Okay?
Ja. Es ist auch egal, es ist okay, wenn wir Zweifel haben, aber wir haben unsere Wahl schon getroffen, deswegen sind wir hier, jetzt hier in diesem Call.
And the words that I said earlier were specifically said in a way with an energy that would purge anybody who wasn't actually high frequency choice person. So, yeah.
Ja, und wir müssen die loslassen, die eine andere Wahl getroffen haben.
And if you want to find out more about the larger orchestration or the larger reasons of why we're having a split in the first place, go to Walk With Me now, because that's the only place I'm going to release that information in. Boom, I created a mystery, and you know what that is.
Yeah, of Walk With Me
yes,
now.
It's a trap for you.
Yeah.
I like workers. I like trap. Come to the light. No, there's other reasons too. Is that it's not really an information piece that is for everybody. It's like if you're interested, you know where to get it, right? Yeah.
It makes sense. That's the kind of thing you talk about.
Fire and we'll have a chat, right? So, yeah, 2021. So we're in March.
Yeah, you were talking about there was a couple of
A
rollout
little,
things.
yeah.
The
So
rollout for
the
the darker
rollouts.
side of the
Uh-huh.
paradigm
Yeah.
might be March something
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah. So in March it's gonna be a little bit turbulent. There's gonna be another big push, and then it's gonna roll out the push. August is gonna be July and August. Usually July the 31st, but July and August are going to be 2 months that are quite important and interesting. So, my suggestion would be for you to plan ahead now to place yourself somewhere that you're very, very comfortable, right? Um, for July and August, and buy plenty of popcorn because you're going to be sitting there eating popcorn, watching a movie.
Also im März wird dann nochmal ein weiterer Teil des Planes ausgerollt. Es könnte nochmal sehr ungemütlich werden und turbulent. Und dann geht es weiter, also es setzt sich weiter fort. Und im Juli und August solltet ihr alle dafür sorgen, an einem ganz gemütlichen Ort zu sein, wo ihr es richtig gut habt und viel Popcorn da haben, weil da wird es echt eine richtige Show geben.
Allow it to happen. You're gonna be tempted for those months, and especially July and August, to engage in saving people.
Who are watching that show and believing it.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Also da müsst ihr wirklich aufpassen, dass ihr nicht da in diese Rettermentalität geht und vielleicht irgendwelche Menschen retten wollt oder diese Show für Realität glaubt. Da müssen wir aufpassen.
By the month of October, they're going to be testing out and projecting other victim aggressor stories. What that's going to be is up in there right now, but it might be the ET thing. I don't know. They've been pushing into that quite heavily the past few months. The ET as a threat story, which is unreal, is not real. Are there ETs out there? Yes. Are they a threat? No.
Ja, also im Oktober passiert nochmal was Merkwürdiges. Weiß nicht genau was. Vielleicht diese ET, also außerirdischen Geschichte, dass die uns da irgendwas vorspielen, als würden die uns angreifen. Aber klar gibt es andere Wesen von anderen Planeten, aber die sind keine Bedrohung.
That is as simple as that. And use the truthing class for that. But the rollout of that information is going to...
Ihr könnt da auch nochmal die Truth and Lies, die Kurs benutzen für.
That comes from when I talk to people and say, yeah, but I want the government to say it. I say, when the government say it, it's not a good thing because the way they're gonna say it is for you enslavement, and it's not gonna be good for you. And it's gonna be they're a threat, and they're the new virus, the new enemy. Okay, the new terrorist is gonna be something that's wild, and they're gonna be light shows probably in October.
Pretty good antenna shows if you're fully antennaed up with your nanobots.
Yes, if you're full of nanobots and nanoparticles and receptors in your brain and 5G and all the rest, then yeah, it's gonna be awesome for you.
Also es ist so, je mehr die Menschen voll mit diesen Nanobots sind und diesen Nanopartikeln, mit der Impfung, 5G und alles, was so empfänglich macht, was sie zu einer Antenne macht, die werden das halt noch viel mehr glauben, weil das wird so miteinander verbunden irgendwie. Und ja, große Lightshow. Dann gibt es auch nochmal ein Gerücht, wo soll der Virus nochmal ein richtig gefährlicher rauskommen. Also es wird wild.
Not anybody here, I'm sure. But for people out there, definitely. And because you don't perceive it, see it, or yeah, it's not gonna be something. It's like the split, it's like the realities already are extremely different. The realities are so different between people who are not subscribing to the pandemic or feardemic.
Feardemic?
Feardemic?
We'll call it feardemic.
The feardemic they're not indulging in the fear-demic, and those who are, already the split is there.
Also man sieht den Split halt auch jetzt sogar schon in der Realität. Ne? Es sind ja verschiedene Realitäten, in denen die Menschen leben, die in der Angst sind und die eben nicht in der Angst sind, weil sie wissen, wozu es gut ist. Und das wird dann nochmal stärker sein, wenn diese Show losgeht. Und im Oktober dann noch mehr.
Already it's a completely different world.
Yes.
It's definitely not your son's world.
No, or mine, or yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so radically different. So that's October, and then coming into the fall next year, I see a lot of people who are on the other negative side taking the way out. There might be deaths.
Ja, und wenn dann der Herbst losgeht, dann wird es auf der negativen, also auf der negativen Seite vom Split nochmal viele Tote wahrscheinlich geben, weil viele wollen gehen und kriegen dann die Gelegenheit.
Suicides, already the suicides are going off the roof.
Oder eben
Nobody's
Selbstmorde.
talking much about it, but there's a lot.
Sind jetzt schon sehr viele.
It's going to be pushed. That's going to be pushed at the end of next year to 2021. It's being pushed right now, but not to the same degree. There's a lot of people who are not yet vaccinated and do not have those nano things inside of them, and the 5G hasn't been full on.
Und zum Ende des Jahres wird es dann nochmal intensiver, weil dann sind noch mehr geimpft, dann ist noch mehr 5G und dann ist diese Reaktion, diese emotionale auch noch stärker auf das Ganze. Dann wird es noch stärker werden.
So this year the suicides are skyrocketing, but it's not going to be as bad as next year's in the fall and winter. Be prepared for that. Your physical bodies are not going to be happy. But let them know that it's all part of a larger plan. They're going to be just fine. Next incarnation.
Also unsere physischen Körper werden halt nicht so froh sein, aber wir können ihnen auch sagen, dass es einfach Teil der Sache jetzt ist und dass das schon alles gut wird, spätestens dann in der nächsten Inkarnation wieder.
March is also January, February.
You did March, you did
Yeah.
July, August,
Yes.
and you did October, and then
Yeah.
November, December.
Yes. So going back to January, February, March, April, and May of 2021, we're going to have a huge influx of light babies. Okay. Now, there's going to be so many people being born on the planet, and they are light babies. A lot of those, unfortunately, are going to be born to families who are choosing the dark paradigm. Okay. So but it's a window of, I don't know if it's a few days or a few weeks or a few months, where they will be on their full light frequency. They're not going to be.
Also es werden auch jetzt die ersten 5 Monate des Jahres 21 viele Babys geboren und es sind alles Lichtkinder, alle und viele. Und die wählen das und die werden teilweise viel in Familien, die bei der negativen Seite vom Split sind, geboren werden und werden wahrscheinlich nicht lange leben und werden aber trotzdem ein Fenster haben von ein paar Wochen oder Tagen oder Wochen, wo sie wirklich ihre volle Lichtfrequenz erreichen.
Subdued until they start getting vaccinated. Okay. So,
und wenn sie dann geimpft werden, dann wird das natürlich alles komplett unterdrückt.
Between then and, it's like there's that gap. That's going to be felt by every light worker on the planet.
Und wir werden das alle merken, diese Lücke, bevor das Licht wieder ausgeht, sozusagen.
Little light explosions?
Just a little light explosions all over the planet.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. There's a lot. We have to be very, very careful with the martyr energy, because a lot of those babies are not going to make it, unfortunately.
Wir müssen sehr, sehr aufpassen, dass wir da nicht in so eine Märtyrer-Energie reingehen und da reingehen mit so einem Oh nein oder so, weil die meisten von diesen Babys werden einfach sterben.
Okay, right. They're not going to stay light. So be aware of this. Don't fall into the martyr energy. Don't fall into the victim aggressor energy. Just know that this was part of that plan. It's hard, and the physical bodies are going to feel it.
So you mean it's possible for someone to be born for 3 days worth of expression and the rest is just whatever's.
Yes, yes,
And then, with 1,000 or 10,000 lives,
yeah.
three days of
It's
one of them
not.
is
It's not
fine.
really fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not really by accident. It's not like they're coming in as victims. They're not. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're
It's
doing.
like the wildest ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ja, und wir müssen wirklich, wirklich aufpassen, dass wir nicht in diese Märtyrerenergie kommen, weil die wissen genau, was sie tun. Die Seelen haben sich dafür entschieden und manche werden nur ein paar Tage vielleicht da sein und dieses Licht strahlen können und es ist völlig in Ordnung. Also es ist, es ist einfach so ausgemacht.
But a lot of them are for that burst of
Just for the burst.
the burst, yeah.
And everything
The
after
initial
that
burst.
is
It's
completely
irrelevant.
optional. Doesn't even
Optional.
matter.
No, it doesn't
Do or
matter.
don't do whatever.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're going to be just fine, right? But unfortunately for the light workers, that could be one of the invitations to fall into that little trap thing. So
Also die sind wirklich hier für diesen Light Burst, also für diese Explosion von Licht.
yeah.
Yeah.
Es ist spannend, kurze Bemerkung von mir dazwischen. Ich habe gerade das neue Buch von der Christina von Dreien gelesen und da, in ihrem letzten Newsletter, da spricht sie genau davon, das hat sie geträumt, wie so Lichtexplosionen, so Lichtinseln.
There will be a lot of all of those opportunities to go save.
Yes.
But that is the invitation for you to jump into the dark timeline if you want.
Mm-hmm.
That's your invitation.
It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that the vaccination they're bringing out is not allowed on children. Okay? That's not a coincidence. There's an age limit for this new vaccination thing that's being rolled out. And it's very clear, and this is part of all our co-creation, that it cannot be given to children. That's for a reason. Okay? So keep that in mind.
Ja, also es gibt auch diese komische Impfung, die da jetzt rauskommt, die ist nicht zufälligerweise nicht für Kinder, die ist, glaube ich, ab 12 frühestens. Das hat seine Gründe.
Okay? And there won't be any of these babies. I mean, there might be some crazy parents who force it on, but, the children are not going to receive that for... we're talking about 2021. They're not going to receive it in 2021. Right?
Good.
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Right. So, any questions? Do we have any questions, Ilya?
Yes, we do. The most common question that I saw in the comments and also we got via email was this year an opportunity to still travel, mostly within Europe, but other places as well. So people feeling stuck and asking if will there be another window to travel, because right now it's a lockdown situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did talk about the end of this year to be where you want to be, because you're not going to be able to move for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's very possible that after January there might be an opportunity to move again. But guys, I told you in October 2019 to go and settle where you're going to be, because come on, really, how many times do we have to tell this? We really have to get settled, and yeah, we need to get on it. January.
Ja, also es taucht viel die Frage auf von Zuhörern, ob es noch Möglichkeit geben wird zu reisen. Und Inelia sagt, naja, habe euch ja gesagt, jetzt ab Oktober solltet ihr da sein, wo ihr sein wollt, weil das schwierig wird. Aber es könnte sein, dass es nach Januar noch mal eine kurze Möglichkeit gibt. Aber es geht ja darum, das habe ich ja auch schon vor einem Jahr gesagt, dass ihr jetzt langsam da sein solltet, wo ihr hingehört und wo ihr wirklich euch niederlassen wollt.
January, February, probably. And there's an energy that is very, very clear of individuals who won't be stopped traveling, and they can't be stopped. Just everything the human collective does allow for that. There's the clauses and things that you can use to travel and move around. And but there's also that as an excuse not to. I started slowing down my travel in 2014. I said I'm not going to travel anymore after the last events that I did in Europe in 2014. I said, that's it, I'm not going to travel anymore, right?
Ja, die wirklich reisen wollen, werden das dann tun. Man kann das dann nicht stoppen. Und weil das ja auch im menschlichen Kollektiv drin ist, die Möglichkeit zu reisen. Und ich habe seit 2014 Reisen nach Europa und sowas eingestellt. Und das muss ja auch nicht sein.
And if you want to see me, you come over to me. So that's part of that energy also. We have been quite spoiled, I think, traveling all over the world whenever we wanted to. There is a technology of teleportation, which some people are already using. I learned the other day. Larry and I were listening to a podcast, and there's a guy who's very good at it, teaches it, has exercises where you can use it. And it's like one of those things like, whoa, is that for real? Yeah, it is for real. He disappeared out of our timeline for like a half a day.
He did too. We went to search
Yeah.
for it. It was like gone. Then
It was
came
gone.
back.
Yeah, the podcast was gone. It's like couldn't find his name, couldn't find his podcast, couldn't find anything about him. I thought, oh gosh, we're kind of wobbling timelines. And then we went back, and I went back, and I go, no, I'm gonna find him. And then boom, oh, it's right there, right? It was like the first or second one from that channel. It's like,
Ja, zur Not gibt es ja auch noch die Möglichkeit der Teleportation. Wir haben vor kurzem jemanden kennengelernt, der das richtig kann. Und es gibt, wenn man das wirklich können will, gibt es die Möglichkeit, das zu lernen.
we looked at those, and it wasn't there. Now it is again. So that information is out there if you really want it, by location, teleportation, remote viewing, all those things are there. And yeah, I think there is a podcast coming out where we talk about the teleportation thing, and I think it's next, not this Monday coming, but the next one after. We're going to send the link and everything on that podcast. So if you're not subscribed to our podcast, go ahead and subscribe. You can go to any of the major podcast providers. You do a search on Driving to the Res or Inelia Benz, and you will find our podcast, the Inelia Benz podcast, and Driving to the Res is part of that. So yeah, all that information is going to be there. Again, another reminder, a 10% off coupon for the entire Inelia Benz.
Drop it.
Good job.
Yeah.
So that's the coupon. And or just look around, see if you're running poverty programs and you have the mindset of I can't afford anything. Download the Reconnection with Money exercise. It's for free. And if it doesn't work for you, then don't bother, because nothing's gonna work for you. That's on the site. So yeah, it's there. Truth it. 2021 is gonna be a fascinating year. I plan. We're having an event, and we're going to also plan to be more active in the podcast. We're hoping to do more video podcasts or vlog. No, it's not vlogs.
Also wir haben auch Pläne für 21. Wir werden mehr Podcasts und Videopodcasts machen und sowas.
I don't know what I call video podcasts. We're going to do more live events coming up, probably once a month or maybe every 2 months or something like that. We'll have to talk about that.
Ja, wird auch mehr Live-Events geben.
So yeah, thank you
Live-Streamings.
for turning up. So we want to talk about when is the David Icke post going to be? So David Icke, one of my heroes. We are back in touch. We had technical difficulties. Basically, I messed it up on the time and the Zoom link. The time wasn't right, obviously. We are back in touch, and we're rescheduling. We haven't got the scheduled time yet, but it's definitely happening.
Also ich plane auch mit David Icke
Yeah, we're aiming for January or February at this point.
eine Live-Show zu machen oder eine
Be
Sendung
an
jedenfalls.
interesting conversation.
It's
I
going
have
to be
say.
very interesting.
Ja.
Not like anything you've ever heard.
Information that he has, and that I know he has, and I want him to share.
we do have an interesting question about the fear processing exercise that may be useful for other people as well. And it's about doing the fear processing exercise while holding a baby in your arms, like your child, because you have to hold him. And the concern is, I wonder if the energy of fear during the processing is affecting him, when you allow the fear to grow and express. So,
Okay, so the fear that the parent the parent holds is affecting that baby, period.
right.
Already affecting that baby. The baby already has it in their field. So yes, when you do the fear processing exercise, because of the way it's designed, it will include the baby because that's in your baby's in the field, and will process that fear from the baby because you're the parent.
Right, but that is no reason not to do it, though.
Yes, it's more reason to.
More reason to do it. Yeah.
Ich glaube, hier gab es irgendwie ein Missverständnis. Es war die Frage, ob es nicht gut ist, wenn ich ein Baby im Arm halte, während ich die Fear-Processing-Übung mache. Und Inelia hat es, glaube ich, anders verstanden, weil sie sagt, die Antwort war trotzdem interessant, weil sie sagt, die Angst, die man hatte, wegen der man die Übung macht, ist ja eh schon in dem Feld von dem Baby auch. Und so gesehen ist es wichtig, dass man die Übung macht, dass man die für das Baby auch macht, also dass die von beiden entfernt wird, die Angst. Aber ob man das nun dabei auf dem Arm hat oder nicht, I don't know.
Babies don't really separate themselves from their mom. They are their mom,
dad,
right? Or their dad, or whoever's holding
Aber die
them.
sind sowieso
Yeah,
eins mit
exactly.
uns.
Up to a certain age, they haven't even
Realize they're a different
realized
person.
they're separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have other questions, but you've answered most of them just by talking about what's going to happen in 2021. But there is one that kind of keeps repeating, and is what will happen to those who still want to choose the low frequency paradigm, and can they still change their minds?
Can they? No, because these individuals who are choosing it's a physical choice. So if a person chooses the dark paradigm, they go and get vaccinated. That vaccine doesn't have a cure.
Mhm.
Das ist die Frage, ob man sich noch umentscheiden kann, wenn man sich schon für dieses dunkle Paradigma entschieden hat. Und Inelia sagt, nee, weil das ist ja auch eine körperliche Entscheidung, weil die sich dafür entschieden haben, lassen sich ja die Impfung geben. Und dafür gibt es keine Kur, die kann man nicht ausleiten.
Once you get vaccinated, that's it. That's it. You cannot change your mind in this lifetime.
Also spätestens die Impfung trennt dann. Und
Okay, so
unless you've spent the last, 20 decades trying to create an mRNA reversing injection to create a new set, you know what I'm saying?
Also in diesem Leben wird es dann nichts mehr mit der Umentscheidung.
Nobody on the light worker side did that, so
No.
we're kind of messed up.
Yeah.
We should have thought about that like 10, 20 years ago, if that's what we wanted.
Right. Yeah, and those individuals who go, oops, I shouldn't have chosen that. I really need to change my mind now. They're going to die. And then they're going to be reborn without the vaccine.
A light burst.
Ja, und die es dann erst nach der Impfung merken und meinen, ich hätte mich jetzt anders entschieden eigentlich, die sterben dann halt und können dann wiedergeboren werden mit der neuen Entscheidung.
Baby.
Yeah.
Und ohne das.
I mean, I've made mistakes in past lives.
Yes, you have made mistakes in past lives.
It's not like it doesn't happen.
No.
Oops.
You go, oh
man.
my gosh.
Did I do that? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ja, und wir alle haben in vergangenen Leben schon Fehler gemacht.
To the effect that the vaccine so-called damage is not permanent, like forever.
It is permanent.
In this lifetime, though.
This lifetime is permanent.
But
many different vaccines, of course, you can, whatever it is, what do you call it? Chelation therapy. You can go get homeopathy. You can flush the toxins. You can, functionally
rebuild
clear.
your immune system. Yeah. But with this one, not. Sorry.
Different.
It's different.
This is your physical split.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because there are many questions around this, which to me felt like they were trying to see, maybe I could get the vaccine and then get it out of the system, but apparently it's not like that. So
no,
don't do it.
Not for this one.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right, then we can conclude the event here. If you have kind of like some conclusions or ending thoughts.
Dan, you're here, you're still here. We don't have to do much, but what we do is very diligently embodying the light paradigm every single day. And when we fall down, we brush ourselves off.
Also es ist gar nicht so viel, was wir zu tun haben. Unsere Aufgabe ist es, jeden Tag dieses High-Frequency-Paradigm zu umarmen, zu verkörpern, und wenn wir mal hinfallen, dann stehen wir halt wieder auf, klopfen uns ab und dann geht's weiter. Das ist
like
unsere
this,
Aufgabe.
right? And if we're overwhelmed, we have the tools. This tool will pass. The oopsie tool is great. I indulge. Oopsie. Let's start again. Drop it, and this tool will pass.
Also wir haben genug Tools, um, wenn wir komisch drauf sind, darüber hinwegzukommen, und auch das geht vorbei.
Use those tools. Go to ineliabenz.com. Tons of information. You want to know more in depth, you want to join a really high frequency tribe, go to walkwithmenow.com. And yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. So,
Ja, lass
I want
uns
to say
das
that for
gemeinsam
almost all the
tun.
questions we got, there's an article on the website, and if you want to go more in depth, there's a class about it.
And there's a book, I think, about this stick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's 2012 to 2017 Ascension book, has all the articles in it. And if you read through that, everything that you encounter basically has been asked and answered.
Yeah. That book is really good. Get that book.
That's a brilliant book.
Yeah.
And it can be used as an oracle book too. What was that?
You can search for your question either on the website, or just even you can use Google, just type Inelia Benz,
and the question.
And the question. Exactly. And you'll get the results. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Well done, troops.
Hey.
Let's march forth. Let the force be with you. All right, guys. Thanks ever so much for coming here and being part of this amazing call.
Yes.